d4, knight to f6 c4, e6, knight to c3, bishop to b4. Capablanca plays the Nimzoindian defense. e3, d5, a3, bishop captures c3 check, bishop captures c3. Typically for the Nimzo Indian, black gives up his dark squared bishop in order to damage white's pawn structure and to get ahead in development. c5, c captures d5, e captures d5. Bishop to d3, castle, knight to e2 b6, castles, bishop to a6, Kasparov said. By all chess standards that dominated the minds of the chess players in the 20s and 30s, black has absolutely nothing to complain about. Good pawn structure, easy development, and no weaknesses. White isn't even threatening any immediate action. However, Botvinnik felt correct that a possibility of a central advance e3 e4 e5 after the preparatory f3 could lead to a violent attack on the kingside. Hard to believe? Well, at least you are thinking along the same lines as the great Cuban champion. Bishop captures a6, knight captures a6, bishop to b2, queen to d7, a4, f rook to e8. Queen to d3, c4? Kasparov says this serious positional mistake has a clear historical background. The 50-year-old Capablanca in his long chess career never dealt with hidden dynamic factors. His unique intuition and rich experience didn't send any danger signals here. Instead, he counted on using his opponent's light squares with the long maneuver na6 b8 c6 a5 b3. Capablanca simply underestimated the explosive power of white's position. Queen to c2, knight to b8, a rook to e1, knight to c6, knight to g3, knight to a5, f3. Knight to b3. Kasparov. Both sides are quite persistent. The a4 pawn is lost, but the long-awaited central advance is also ready. e4, queen captures a4, e5, knight to d7. Queen to f2. Kasparov. Otherwise the isolated knight is able to come back into the game extremely effectively after nb3 c5. Now black has to take his opponent's threats more seriously. The white knight is heading for f5 and d6, and the advancing f-pawn could be a battering ram that will crack open the black castle position. But Capablanca cannot be frightened by these shadows on the horizon. The stubborn proponent of the economy was famous for an astonishing ability to defend his king with a minimum of resources while his main army was gaining an advantage elsewhere. g6, f4, f5. This forces the opening of the e-file and the exchange of rooks. E captures f6. Knight captures f6, f5, rook captures e1, rook captures e1, rook to e8, rook to e6, rook captures e6, f captures e6, king to g7, queen to f4, queen to e8, queen to e5, queen to e7. Kasparov. Attack and defense have reached a faltering parity. Each side needs reserves to decide an epic battle in its favor. The question is whose minor piece from the forgotten flank is faster? Black's knight is going to use the same route b3 a5 c6, but what about the sleeping white bishop? Bishop to a3, queen captures a3. Knight to h5 check, g captures h5, queen to g5 check, king to f8, queen captures f6 check, king to g8. e7, queen to c1 check. King to f2, queen to c2 check, king to g3, queen to d3 check, king to h4. Queen to e4 check, king captures h5, queen to e2 check. King to h4, queen to e4 check. g4, queen to e1 check. King to h5. Lichess 1-0 black resigns. Kasparov. Capablanca's resignation, in my opinion, symbolized the end of a heroic era of chess titans, dominating the field with their natural genius. Since this historic moment, the professional touch has played a more and more important role as an integral part of chess, the path to ultimate success. Thank you for watching. See you next time.